protest, have standing before the Alcohol Beverage Regulation Administration to protest licensees. I've not heard anything back from the office. Can you speak to that?
Sure, absolutely. So, Commissioner and myself and my Deputy Chief of Staff, Demetrius Cheatham, did meet maybe about 2 months ago. We met in February, I believe. And the Commissioner did present some very good ideas. And to give you just a brief update on those things, we have been reviewing them. However, we are in budget season, so in our meeting, we did mention that we would do our best to figure out how we can address those things, but at this current time, I don't have an update.
I would like to request written follow-up.
Sure.
Thank you.
Commissioner, can I just respond?
Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name is Tony Towns. I'm Director of Community Engagement for the Office of the Attorney General. And to address your question, while there's no loitering laws in District of Columbia, there are incommoding. You can't block ingress and egress. And police can take police action and if a person refuses to move. So placing the chairs in such a manner that people can't move, get past, that can be enforced.
Well, I would request that there be clarification language, so that there's, a lot of times we have people who are breaking the law, they want to give the officers pushback and, tell us what they can and cannot do. And I think that if we have some amendments that actually clarify that incommoding statute, I think it would be very, very beneficial, to neighborhood safety. Not just in my community, but throughout the city.
Yeah. And also, to piggyback on that, I don't know if it's that the officers need to know more about what the laws are, because sometimes you call them and you specifically say this is against the law, and then they tell you no, it's not. So it might be they need additional training.
Yeah, and just to kind of bring it back full circle, I know in other locations in the ward, not just in this particular ANC, we do have those same exact issues with folks blocking the walkway, oftentimes in front of multi-unit apartments where they're blocking the entryway, which that kind of presents some challenges with private space, public space. But with the enforcement piece, like Mr. Town said, he does have the ability to enforce that incommoding, but to your point, Commissioner, trying to make sure that that language is clearer is something that we did take away from the meeting and that we will work on.
I would like to follow up with your office on that. You all have been very responsive on a number of issues that I'm just going to add another to your plate.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Were there any other questions from? I appreciate your time. Thank you so much, Commissioners.
Thank you.
All right, well, thank you.
Community concerns come up? Go ahead. All right, are there any other community concerns that weren't already addressed, or the community would like to? Yes.
We seem to have, over the past month, had a de facto auto body repair shop pop up on 8th Street Northeast. What's that?
On what street?
8th Street Northeast, 1900 block. As of me leaving for this evening, for the meeting, there were 5 abandoned and untagged cars sitting and waiting to be repaired, along with whoever owns them sitting in lawn chairs on the sidewalk waiting for them to be repaired. I've reported this through 311. They have all been marked as resolved, but they are still there. So I'm not sure, even though it's been reported to DC, DPW, it hasn't moved. I seem to remember our meeting, there was an issue at Trinidad Rec Center that was kind of similar.
I think it's the same person.
Yeah, well, I don't know. This guy, it hasn't happened since it started. And the guy that's working on the cars lives in the neighborhood. And packages have started to be stolen because there's a lot of loitering around there. That has never happened before in the 2 years that we have been there. And so things start to be ticking up a little bit, and wondering what recourse we have for this. These are untagged vehicles.
Right, and that's the same thing. Now, I think it's the same, because someone told me that he lives over in the neighborhood, Cause
Well, I
he
would
leaves them on
probably
Trinity,
address
let me
it.
finish, Commissioner.
Kathy, I don't know
That-
if you've seen it, but it's.
I'm just
If you
saying-
could forward the service request numbers
Yeah,
to me, I'd
absolutely.
appreciate it. I did have some cars towed last weekend, certainly could have these towed.
Yeah.
And I would appreciate if you reach out to me for other issues. Send me those numbers.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I have a little concern with that, like, I know the car shouldn't be there, but from the sounds of things, they're also operating a business
Yes.
without proper licensing.
Yes.
What's unlawful to repair cars?
One street.
So we also need to, get DCRA,
What's it?
When they were on, they took months for them to get off the Trinidad rack on DC property. But one of the problems also is that DC no longer enforces the 3-day rule. Used to be you couldn't leave your car sitting in the same spot for 3 days, whether you residential. I talked to one of the parking enforcement guys, said they don't enforce that. I don't know if it was repealed.
That's a different issue.
Well, no, but that would keep the cars moving. If the car was sitting there for 3 days, then it would be ticketed and towed.
Well, they're not even taking it on for street cleaning. at
Right,
this point,
that's-
so
yeah.
They're just sitting there.
Are you calling in for street cleaning when you see these
Yeah,
vehicles?
yeah, well, I'm reporting through 311 every
Feel
single
free to
time.
send me those request numbers and I'll follow up on it.
Will do.
Any other concerns? Yes. I see some lady in the back first.
Sure, hi. So I know we touched a little bit about, illegal dumping already and trash collection. There's a, kind of an issue at a public trash bin on a corner that we live close to where, basically the whole street is dumping their personal trash in it, so it's just really overflowing paper every day. I talked to some of the residents there, they said that the reason why they do that is because the alley where they dump their trash typically is full of rats, and so they're kind of nervous to go back there. And I looked at them, there's like a lot of weeds and the trash bins, all of the holes in them, so like the rats are probably in and out.
What's your address?
It's at the corner of Childress and Holbrook. And so likewise, we've, been, putting in requests through 311, but I guess I was just wondering for a longer term solution, what is there that we can do? We talk to the landlords, I think a lot of us live in their
and that issue is also happening within Ivy City, like, the private owners, they're not having their trash picked up in a timely manner, so their neighbors are having issues also, and we've been putting calls in with 311, but those tickets are being booked. And, we've even had the owner receive fines, but it's still not solving the issue, so my, thought when I was talking to the resident is to have a walkthrough, and possibly taking the owners to court, but we haven't gone that far. Probably need some help from Lionel and Wesley.
So, I know what I can do is, we can have the solid waste inspectors come out, they can see more fines. But they could possibly lose their license for collecting trash at a location if they're not maintaining those areas. Then we can have, road control, Department of Health, and the, code enforcement division also give additional citations. So that, what's the trash company that, do you know the trash company that collects trash there?
No, it's a public trash
She's
can.
talking about,
A
is
public
that this is
trash.
a,
Theft of
it's a
service.
public, but right on the corner by Trinidad Rec Center.
Oh, I
It's
should agree with you.
It's a problem area, they come and they put their personal trash out there. We call all the time to get them to pick it up, but I never know where it's coming from. So if you've spoken with residents, it would be nice to know where those residents are, because that's kinda on our.
Yeah, cause we got the new building on our side where people I think had moved in right in front. Oh, you wanna know that? Okay.
So.
So I guess it's two different issues
Yeah,
that
so then we
start.
could, if residents are putting their trash in, we could ask DPW to put a cover in, so that only you could, put personal trash like napkins and other disposable items, and not trash bags.
But from what I was hearing from her, the reason they're putting their trash there is because their own private receptacles are not being,
So,
And that's the second issue.
so
that's,
that goes back to what you were,
so if their own, and this is, and where do they live specifically?
I don't know, but I know our issue is similar, so you'd have to get that from her and then.
it's just like, it's like a whole street, basically, that's all.
Which street, Childress or Holbrook?
Oh, bro.
But I think they're rental units, so I feel like it's the.
So then, I would assume those are private trash cans, is what I thought. You know?
And the
It's
owner,
actually trash cans, but, I guess it's just they're
your contact information.
Great. And can you add Kendall Street to that same, and contact me about that, please?
And we always appreciate enforcement. We think it works. I know that Inspector Armistead has written a number of tickets in our area, and I implored her to write some more. Unfortunately, we don't want people to get tickets, but we do need people to adhere, to our laws regarding trash disposal, proper trash disposal, and it's working. So keep it coming.
There's a hand.
I have a question. The apartment building that's at Holbrook and Queen, there's, a double apartment unit where they have boarded up, but it's still two residents that's living in that building as squatters. And it's right on the corner of Queen and Holbrook, which is one block down from the new building that they just renovated. And I'm just wondering, how long will the loitering go on there in that abandoned building, when that building's been abandoned for every bit of 3 years now?
Actually, it's been inspected. That's what they told me. They went in and inspected because we've been complaining about that building for a year. So having inspected, because I thought you couldn't live in a building with boarded up windows.
Right.
But they're there, and I didn't get any results from the inspection, but the new owner is supposed to be renovating the building, but I don't know. He's been the new owner for the last 3 or 4 years, and it's been in that situation since you purchased it.
Right.
And they were supposed to move out, and they didn't move. Well, they were given money to move out, and they didn't move out.
And then they have a lot of friends that come over there every evening. 2 families have at least 20 friends a night.
And they blocked us out. It's another spot when they with the chairs set up.
Yeah. So what do you do about that? You just let it continue because it passed inspection, or because someone
Well, that's in my area. I requested it be inspected again and follow up and see what they're going to do, because I even tried to contact the owner and wanted to go by his house in Northwest.
Okay, so my second question is that when you have
It's
a
in front of his house.
Huh?
I'm saying it's in front of his house.
If
If you want to join me, we can go do that, because I got his address.
No, 2 families live there, but each family have about 10 to 15 guests. Yeah, family members or guests, they come by, they drop by every evening, and they gone by 10, 11 o'clock. Okay, my second question is, when you're a homeowner and you want to have an event, you wanna have a cookout, you wanna have a party, and you're expecting guests, what is the time frame for your event at your private home in addition?
There is no time, however, there is a noise ordinance that ends at 10:30. So if you can hear noise outside of the home, at that point you can call MPD, they can come over and they can ask you to turn the noise off.
Well, why is it so many different times? I've heard midnight, I heard 11 o'clock.
It's 10 o'clock.
Listen.
It's 10 o'clock.
It's 10 o'clock on the weekdays and 11 and the weekends.
So if you're having a Saturday cookout at your home, by 10:30, the noise need to be over?
They're saying 11.
On the weekends, it's 11.
Yes,
So we
it's
did
on
that
Friday night,
together.
Saturday night. Yes.
Yeah, that's
Or
right.
Sunday night, is that a weekend?
It's not just the noise has to completely end. There's certain levels. I can't, on top of my head know what the levels are. At a certain point, it can't go over a certain level.
That's right.
Do you know what those decibels are? I don't.
Or I have the issue because I live right next to Love Nightclub, so the test that they use, when you have the inspector comes out, you have to close all of the windows in the home, and you're not supposed to hear the noise outside of it. So that's how they do the testing. I've called the officers a number of times.
So
I
what
know, I can
officers
hear, look, I don't even have to turn my TV on and everything, I can just listen to the music, if I turn the TV on, my windows are shut,
Yeah,
my air
that's
conditioner's on, and I can just hear the noise all the time.
I called the officer
I
and
do call.
I actually stopped calling MPD. They actually have their own special officers that have the little machine that they can test with.
So I should call Fifth District and not
No, you should
311
call
or 911.
You should call 911.
If you call 911, they're not going to have the equipment. So what I would suggest call 911 during the day and tell them you want to get the number